Hello students, so welcome to the class of Pole Science of class 12 arts, and today we will study about the fourth country of South Asia, that is Sri Lanka. Before this we have completed reading elaborately about the system of government in Pakistan. Then secondly we read about Bangladesh. Thirdly we completed Nepal, and today we will try to understand about Sri Lanka. That means the topic's name is ethnic conflict and democracy in Sri Lanka. This point, some of the points you have already read in class 10, and it will be to some extent will be easy for you to understand actually. So let's proceed then. We have already seen that Sri Lanka has retained democracy since its independence in 1948. So during the beginning part we read that India and Sri Lanka are following democratic form of government since its independence. That means India from 1947 and Sri Lanka from 1948. But it faced a serious challenge not from the military or monarchy but rather from ethnic conflict, leading to the demand of succession by one of the regions. That means Sri Lanka is also following the same democratic form of government since its independence. But whatever the challenge or problem was there regarding Sri Lanka, it was not from the military side or not from the monarchy sides. That means neither from the military side nor from the king sides. But it was due to the ethnic conflict. If you remember, ethnic conflict because the populations, the ratio of populations over there was Sinhalas, the majority, then followed by Sri Lankan Tamils, and some part of Indian Tamils or migrated laborers were there. So the main conflict was between the Sinhalas and the Sri Lankan Tamils, because the Sri Lankan Tamils were actually the natives of that place, but they were not given the rights as they were minority in Sri Lanka. And the Sinhalas with 74% of population actually dominated the other groups of the people, which led to this ethnic conflict in Sri Lanka. Clear? After its independence, politics in Sri Lanka, it was then known as Ceylon, was dominated by forces that represented the interest of the majority Sinhala community. So after its independence, that means in 1948, earlier Sri Lanka was known as what? Ceylon. The previous name was Ceylon. It was actually dominated by forces that represented the interest of the majority Sinhala community, as I have explained you earlier only. The Sinhala groups were dominating like anything. They were just like dictator. Whatever the laws they were making it for the advantages or for the benefits of their people only, not from the other Tamils. They were hostile to a large number of Tamils who had migrated from India to Sri Lanka and settled there. This migration continued even after independence. So they were actually not thinking of whom? The Sri Lankan Tamils also or the Indian Tamils also. Indian Tamils, you can say that the Tamils who had actually gone from India and started residing in Sri Lanka, they were actually giving them harassment to them also, this group of people also. And this migration continued even after independence. So this migration means the Tamil people from India even moved after the independence of Sri Lanka also. The Sinhala nationalists thought that Sri Lanka should not give concessions to Tamils because Sri Lanka belongs to the Sinhala people only. The neglect of Tamil concerns led to a militant Tamil nationalism. So why it was the ethnic conflict, why actually it was created? Because the migrated people came to Sri Lanka even after the independence also of Sri Lanka, and on the other hand the Sinhala actually what they thought that Sri Lanka belonged to them only. Whom? To the Sinhalas. And not any type of, or you can say that they were not thinking about giving any advantages or benefits to the Tamils, because they thought that Sri Lanka only belongs to Sinhalas and these people don't have any share of advantages or benefits in Sri Lanka. And this neglect of Tamil concerns led to a militant Tamil nationalism. And this neglect only, what they were doing actually, they were neglecting the Tamil people like anything. So these led to what? This led to the growth of a Tamil militant group that was known as LTTE. Clear? Due to this neglect only, this Tamil people formed one militant group, terrorist group, and that terrorist group was known as LTTE. Clear? From 1983 onwards, the militant organizations, the Liberation Tigers of Tamil Eelam, LTT, has been fighting an armed struggle with the army of Sri Lanka and demanding Tamil Eelam, or a separate country for the Tamils of Sri Lanka. The LTT controls the northeastern parts of Sri Lanka. So what I previously told you was this only, that this formed whatever the neglect the Sinhalas of Sri Lanka were doing with the Tamils. This led to the formation of a Tamil militant group, and it was from 1983 onwards. And the full form of LTT is Liberation Tigers of Tamil Eelam. Clear? And it was formed from 1983 onwards. So from 1983 onwards, the militant organization, the Liberation Tigers of Tamil Eelam, has been fighting an armed struggle with the army of Sri Lanka. And whom they are fighting actually? Against the government. And if they are fighting against the government, that means that they have to fight against the army of that country. And they have demanded what? Tamil Eelam. Tamil Eelam means they are demanding a separate country for the Tamils of Sri Lanka. The LTT controls the northeastern parts of Sri Lanka. That means what? They are fighting, they have raised the arms against this army of Sri Lanka, and they are demanding a separate country. Because why they are demanding separate country? Because they are being felt like what? They are left out. Because the Sinhala government or the Sinhala people or the administration are not thinking about the Tamil people at all. They are not giving them any advantage. Due to this only, they raised up the arms, they formed terrorist groups, and they started fighting against the army of Sri Lanka actually. And with this, they made one demand, and they demanded that there should be a separate country for these Tamils. And these Tamils were known as, actually the native Tamils were there, and they were demanding a separate country for themselves. And the LTT controls the northeastern part of Sri Lanka. That means what? Whole of the northeastern parts of Sri Lanka are controlled by LTT. That was way before. Now the LTT is almost finished. This LTT does not have any significance in that country now. It was of earlier times. The Sri Lankan problem involves people of Indian origin, and there is a considerable pressure from the Tamil people in India to the effect that the Indian government should protect the interest of Tamils in Sri Lanka. And why there is so much of problem actually? Because there are many Tamils who are people of Indian origin actually, and there is a considerable pressure from the Tamil people in India that the effect that the Indian government should actually protect the interest of Tamils in Sri Lanka. Because if you remember, during 1948 or after their independence also, the people kept on migrating to Sri Lanka, the Tamil people of India. So for that reason, the government of India is also being pressurized by the people, Tamil people who are living in India. They are pressurizing, and they are telling the Indian government to safeguard and protect the Tamil people that are living in Sri Lanka. So for these also, the Indian government is pressurizing the Sri Lankan government to protect and safeguard the people, Tamil people. So this is also leading to some extent of problem. The government of India has from time to time tried to negotiate with the Sri Lankan government on the Tamil question. Clear? So why the Indian government is actually doing that? Because of the pressure that the Tamil people living in India is giving to the Indian government. So for that reason also, the government of India is holding talks from time to time with the Sri Lankan government, that are the Tamils people from India safe or not. They are asking this question to the Sri Lankan government. But in 1987, the government of India for the first time got directly involved in the Sri Lankan Tamil question. India signed an accord with Sri Lanka and sent troops to establish relationship between the Sri Lankan government and the Tamils. But after asking so many times about the future of the Tamil people in Sri Lanka, what the Indian government did, the Indian government directly contacted with the Sri Lankan government. It was in the year 1987. And how they directly got involved actually? First, they signed an accord with Sri Lanka. That means signed an agreement. Firstly, they signed an agreement regarding what? Regarding the safeguard and protection of the Tamils living in Sri Lanka. And after that, secondly, they did what? They sent troops to stabilize relationship between the Sri Lankan government and the Tamils. That means they sent group also. Sorry, not groups, troops. That means the army to stabilize actually the relationship between whatever the war was going on between the Sri Lankan army and the LTT. By sending the troops, the Indian government tried to actually normalize that thing. Eventually, the Indian army got into fight with the LTT. Clear? But after that, what happened? You can say that eventually after some time, what happened? The Sri Lankan army and Indian army got unite into one, and they start fighting against the LTT, because the LTT was constantly demanding a separate country, that was Tamil Elam, for their Tamil people. So for this reason, might be the army of India and the Sri Lankan army got directly into fight with the LTT. The presence of Indian troops was also not liked much by the Sri Lankans. They saw this was an attempt by India to interfere in the internal affairs of Sri Lanka. But while protecting and safeguarding the Tamil people in Sri Lanka, the Indian government actually got involved directly or indirectly, because first they signed an agreement, after that they sent troops, then thirdly they had fought war also with the LTT, and all these things the people of Sri Lanka did not like much actually. What was the reason why they don't like much? Because they did not wanted actually that other countries or the foreign countries should actually come to their countries and try to start interfering in the internal affairs of Sri Lanka, because this was actually the internal affairs between the LTT and the Sinhalas. From nowhere, the Indian government sent troops, and they also fought war with the LTT, which the people of Sri Lanka did not like at all, because it was the internal affairs. So they thought that the Indian government or India should not come in the middle of this and try to sort the internal affairs of Sri Lanka. In 1989, the Indian peacekeeping force pulled out of Sri Lanka without attaining its objective. So in 1989, whatever the troops, that troops name was Indian Peacekeeping Force, IPKF, remember this name. It actually pulled out of Sri Lanka without attaining its objectives. That means, why did it roll out suddenly? Why did it pull out from Sri Lanka? Because the people of Sri Lanka were actually not liking that, and they were totally dissatisfied that the other countries are coming to Sri Lanka and are directly involving in the internal affairs, which should not be done according to the people of Sri Lanka. So due to this dissatisfaction, might be in 1989, without fulfilling its objectives. What was the objective actually? The objective was that the peacekeeping forces objective was that whatever the Tamil people were living in Sri Lanka, they should be protected and safeguarded. So they were not able to attend or fulfill their objectives. Without fulfilling their objectives only, in the year 1989, the Indian peacekeeping force, that was the troops sent by the government of India, was pulled out. Suddenly they left Sri Lanka and came to India. This was largely due to two things. First was the dissatisfaction of the Sri Lankan people, and the other was they did not attend objective. Without attending objective only, they came to India. So today we will wind up to here only. So regarding Sri Lanka, today we read about what was the system actually, and the problem whatever the Sri Lankan government was facing, it was neither from military side or nor from the king side, but it was due to the ethnic conflict. And this ethnic conflict between the Sinhalas and the Tamils actually gave rise to a terrorist group, LTT, and after that they demanded Tamilalam, that was a separate country for the Tamils. After that, how the Indian government was being pressurized by the Tamil people, clear, in protecting and safeguarding the people of Tamils living in Sri Lanka. Then after having pressurized by the Tamil people, the Indian government actually got directly involved by first signing an agreement, then it sent the troops. But after some times, the Indian army also got into war with the LTT, and these all incident, the Sri Lankan people actually did not liked or were not satisfied. They were very dissatisfied, and they were giving arguments that how can another country can come in Sri Lanka and can involved in the internal affairs. They were totally dissatisfied by the coming of Indian troops to Sri Lanka, and they were thinking that the Indian government is trying to interfere in the internal matters. So with all this dissatisfaction, the Indian troops actually pulled out in the year 1989, and they could not attain their objectives also. Without fulfilling their objectives, they pulled out in 1989. So whatever the points we have read today, I think that it's now clear in your minds. So with this, I will wind up today's topic. Thank you.